All right, so next one for question 4, that is the one you have to find out the angle between them, between the vectors. Now, I would love to draw out the vectors first. So 3, comma 2 would be something like this. Okay, 3 units to the right, 2 units up. And then -1, comma 4 would be something like this. So, so this is the angle we're looking for here. Looks like a right angle, not sure, but should be around that number, okay? Close to 90, I would guess, maybe 80 something. So what we do is to first write down the equation. Cosine theta is, we say V dot W, and then the magnitude of those two vectors multiplied together. So let's call this V vector. Let's call this W vector. So what is V dot W? Well, V dot W is 3 times -1 plus 2 times 4. So that is 5. Okay, so we got the numerator. Okay, that's number 5. That's the numerator. And then we need to find out the magnitude of these two individual vectors. So we say, what is the magnitude of V? Well, it is square root of 3 squared plus 2 squared, so 13, square root of 13. And then for W, it will be the square root of 17. So with all these numbers in place, so we can now say, all right, cosine theta is equal to 5 over square root of 13 times square root of 17. Oh, yeah, 13. No, we don't, because it's going to be calculator. Okay, because we're going to use a calculator to find out what theta is. So now it's your turn. Go ahead and find out what theta is. Okay, go ahead, find out what theta is. Now, what I did here, I put 5 divided by square root of 13 times 17. So from the previous question, we talked about how the numbers underneath the square root can multiply together. So, so I can just multiply 13 and 17 together, both underneath the square root. I do not need to type 2 separate square roots for the denominator. So I have that, and then I would do the inverse cosine of the answer. And let me see if I change my angle to degrees. Okay, now I can find out my angle. So it's 70.346 degrees. Okay, so my theta is 70.346 degrees. Okay, so when you look at finding out the angles between the two vectors, do you know the equation to find out the angle? Okay, so that will be the key. Okay, you have a calculator for your work here. Magnitude, yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a very good point, actually. That is not exactly absolute value because it's double lined. But if you go to physics or calculus textbooks, they actually have, they just put it as absolute value. So in vectors, absolute value of a vector simply means the magnitude, the length of the vector. Okay.